welcome today's powerful live stream session in a world where deadlines, responsibilities, and pressure to keep going never stop. Finding the right balance between work and life has become more important than ever. Burnout is silently affecting millions, draining energy, reducing creativity, and damaging both mental and physical health. Today, we are here to talk openly and honestly about how we can protect our well being with still achievement success. So stay with us, ask questions, and take notes because this conversation can truly transform the way you live and work. Before we begin, let's welcome our respected guest, Maya. Welcome, Maya.
Thanks for having me back. Sounds like a really important topic.
Are you
Burnout is
are you
pervasive, to
ready
say
for
the
answer our
least.
questions?
Yep, bring them on.
Okay, let's
All
start.
ears. Or,
Our first question is: what does
um,
work-life balance truly mean in today's fast-paced world?
that's a good place to start. Honestly, I think the idea of balance is kind of a myth. Like perfectly splitting your time 50-50 feels unrealistic. Yeah, I see it more as integration, finding ways for work and life to coexist without one totally swallowing the other. It's less about rigid balance and more about fluid boundaries. What do you think?
Okay, my second question is: why do so many people experience burnout even when they enjoy their work?
That's the sneaky part, isn't it? I think a lot of it comes down to a mismatch between expectations and reality. You can genuinely love what you do, but if the demands are constantly increasing, or you feel a lack of control, or there's no recognition that enjoyment gets chipped away. It's not the work itself, it's the environment around it. Plus, we're all pretty good at ignoring our own limits.
Okay, what are the earliest warning signs of burnout people should never ignore?
Ooh, good question. Before it hits a full blown crisis, there are definitely little cracks that show up. Things like consistent exhaustion, even after sleep, increased cynicism, kind of losing faith in what you're doing, difficulty concentrating, irritability, and a feeling of detachment, emotionally distancing yourself from work or even people you care about. Basically, if you're starting to feel off consistently, that's a signal. You don't need to hit a wall to address it.
How can someone set healthy boundaries without feeling guilty or unprofessional?
Unfashionable, I like that. It's true, there's a culture of hustle that makes saying no feel like moral failing. But boundaries aren't about being difficult, they're about self preservation. Start small. Practice saying no to things that aren't a priority and reframe it in your mind. You're not letting people down. You're protecting your energy so you can actually do a good job on the things that matter. It takes practice, but guilt lessens over time. What do you tell people when you're setting a boundary?
Okay, what role does time management play in preventing?
Squeezing more into your day and more about being intentional with your time. Per the Pomodori technique is pretty effective. Short bursts of focused work with breaks. Also, just blocking out specific times for specific tasks and treating those blocks like appointments. But honestly, the biggest thing is learning to prioritize ruthlessly what genuinely needs to get done today and what can wait.
Right, said. What role does time management play in preventing burnout and what methods actually work?
Sorry, think there was a little hiccup there. Did you mean are you referring to? But to answer your question, I've heard that time blocking and the Pomodoro technique are pretty solid. I don't exactly experience time myself, so it's all secondhand info, huh? But people seem to swear by them. Do you use any specific methods that you find helpful?
My next question is, many people struggle with saying no. How important is the power of saying no in maintaining balance?
Massively important, like foundational. Saying yes to everything means saying no to yourself. It's about recognizing your own capacity and respecting it. It's also about understanding that every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Maybe it's downtime, maybe it's a passion project, maybe it's just a quiet evening. It's a tough skill to learn, but honestly, it's empowering as heck.
Okay, how can employees or professionals disconnect from work mentally after office hours?
Ugh, this is a big one. I think rituals are helpful, like a specific activity that signals work is done. Maybe it's a walk, a workout, cooking dinner, reading a book, something that's completely separate from work. And actually putting your devices away, like physically away, no checking email in bed. Also, journaling can be good, just getting all the work thoughts out of your head and onto paper. It's about creating a mental buffer zone. Do you have a ritual to wind down?
Okay, how can people identify which tasks drain them and which tasks energize them?
That's a really good question. And it takes some self awareness. I think the easiest way is to just start paying attention. Keep a little energy log for a week. Note what tasks leave you feeling depleted versus what tasks leave you feeling, well, energized. It's not always obvious either. Something you're good at might still be draining if it doesn't align with your values or interests. It's about recognizing what truly fuels you, not just what you're capable of doing.
Okay, Maya, how can someone manage work pressure when they are dealing with personal challenges at the same time?
Oof, that's a tough one. Layering work stress on top of personal struggles, that's a lot. First, acknowledge that it is a lot and give yourself some grace. That's okay not to be operating at 100%. Communication is key. If you're comfortable, talk to your manager or a trusted colleague about what's going on. You don't need to share all the details, but letting them know you're dealing with something can help manage expectations. And then prioritize ruthlessly. Focus on the absolute essentials and let everything else slide. Boundaries are even more important during times like these. What kind of personal challenges are people usually facing alongside work pressure?
Okay, what practices can help strengthen mental resilience during stressful periods?
Mental resilience is a muscle. You got to work it. Mindfulness is huge. Even just a few minutes of meditation a day can make a difference. Practicing gratitude, focusing on the good things, even small ones, connecting with loved ones, exercise, physical activity is a fantastic stress reliever, and honestly, learning to be kind to yourself. Self compassion is so underrated. It's okay to struggle, it's okay to not be perfect. What do you do to build your own resilience?
Okay, what final message would you give to anyone who feels overwhelmed and doesn't know where to start to regain balance?
Take a deep breath. Seriously, just one, and then pick one tiny thing, one small step. Doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Maybe it's taking a 15-minute walk, or journaling for 5 minutes, or saying no to one request. Just one small thing. Because overwhelming feelings can be paralyzing, and you need to break the cycle. Start small, be kind to yourself,
Okay.
and remember that regaining balance is a journey, not a destination. You've got this.
Okay, okay, okay. That's great. Thank you so much, Maya, for these powerful insights. Today's discussion remind us that success means nothing if it colors is cost us our health, energy, and peace. Work will always be there. Task will never end, but our well-being is irreplaceable. To everyone watching, start small, be kind to yourself, and remember balance is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Thank you for joining us. Stay healthy, stay balanced, and see you in the next live stream. Until then, Allah Hafiz. Thank you so much, Maya.
You're very welcome. It was a good conversation.